What's good? It's Jordan. Today, I'll be talking to you about take it easy. See, what we have to understand on this mission, on this path, and on this grind is that many times we're going to be working in our best efforts to change our lives for the better. What we have to understand within that is we have to rest and take it easy as well, especially in modern society with grinding culture and trying to do everything in this modern society to make the gains and resources that we need. We have to also understand that rest is important. We have to understand that through every spectrum, rest is important. Even with being in different circles, in different groups, in different social settings, rest is important. We have to understand that even when you're dealing with people in these social groups, we may have a social battery, so to speak, because we have to understand that energy is everything. And every time that we socialize, we give our energy to other people constantly, whether it be positive or negative. And in my opinion, I feel that when we constantly do this, we have to rest and take it easy at times, because if we don't, then we'll burn out. We have to focus and understand these things, because many times what society will tell you is to just grind constantly. And when we continuously do that, we don't rest, we don't take it easy, then it starts to take a toll on us. We have to understand these things. In this life, we only have one life. And with that life, we have to take care of that life that we have and preserve it. Self-preservation is important. Many times, many people don't speak on these things because this information is supposed to be mostly held towards yourself as game for yourself to elevate yourself. But as society increases more and more with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, this information will be passed on through many various different channels. We have to understand these things because it's important, especially in this day and age. Taking it easy, knowing what to do and knowing what not to do. When we go around people, places, and things, what to do and what not to do. Understanding social cues and understanding people who are meant for your life and not meant for your life. People who come into your life to provide you with positivity, and other people who come into your life to just be negative. We have to understand these things. We also have to understand that when we elevate, change may occur, and we're going to be tested in many various different ways. And through these tests, we can either pass these tests or fail these tests. But through it all, we have to learn the lessons behind these tests. We have to learn the lessons behind everything that we go through. We have to learn the lessons through it all. Because when we don't learn these lessons, then we place ourselves in a repetitive cycle. When we place ourselves in a repetitive cycle, there's never going to be change. We have to be that change to break that cycle. We have to be the change that we want to see. And change isn't going to be easy, but if we continue doing the same thing for days, weeks, months, and years, what have we learned? What have we accomplished, and what have we achieved? Nothing. See, it's easier said than done, because with change, it requires all of us to look within ourselves, hold ourselves accountable. And when we hold ourselves accountable, look at it from a perspective of doing the work. And the thing is, it's easier to do the work within society through achievements, accomplishments, accolades, all these various different things that society wants you to have. So you can look at yourself as a person of high stature, high status, based upon what society says. But what about based upon who you are as a person? Your morals, your integrity, your principles. And more in society, I believe that people stop looking at these things as a means of importance, for the mere aspect and the mere fact that people just don't care anymore. And people just want to be looked at as what is important within society and not what's important within themselves. And we all have a part to play in this constantly on a daily basis. And it's not easy to look at these things and make the changes that are needed for us to be in the places that we need to be. But if we just look at it day by day on what we can work on constantly, because there's something that everybody needs to work on, including myself, then when we work on these things, we elevate ourselves. But if we're sticking to negative habits and negative traits constantly, and we do this all the time, and every single time we're leaning more towards negative habits and negative traits, and how are we supposed to elevate to be the people that we're supposed to become within society? It's not easy. Nothing is easy. But what are we going to do for the remaining of our life? If we're not able to look at what's draining our energy, how are we going to do the right things in our life to propel us forward? If we're not looking at things that we need to change, what are we going to do to propel ourselves forward? If constantly we have a trouble within our lives on what to do, what decisions to make, how are we going to move forward? You know, when you're far much more younger as an individual, it's easier for you to make the wrong decisions, do the wrong things, not hold yourself accountable. But when you get far much more older and you still constantly do these things, then it's you and it's not anybody else, right? And this is where we have to hold ourselves accountable within what we do. I hold myself accountable. I know when I do the right thing and when I do the wrong thing. I know what I need to work on. I know what I can work on, and I know what I have worked on within myself and within my life. But it's not easy for other people to do these things, and I know and understand this early, so it's not really a negative. And I believe that with time, hopefully we all use this time in our lives to make the changes that we need, and not really focus on what society wants, but focus on what we want, and focus on how we can use this time to do the things needed for us to propel us forward in this life. Because constantly, time and time again, if we haven't done anything to make changes within ourselves, within society, and time is just flying by, then we may never make that change. And if we're not able to hold ourselves accountable and learn ourselves on a deeper perspective and a deeper level, then what are we living for? To seek acceptance of other people, to gain validation, to do what other people say? When we constantly do these things, are we really living? Right? So I guess what we have to do is look at ourselves on a daily basis and use this time that we have today to actually propel ourselves forward, but as well pay attention to how you deal with things within society, because with the energy that we have to use our energy to do positive things. And sometimes it may not be easy, but at the end of the day, what we choose to do with our time and what we choose to do with our life is based upon what we want to do. And we just have to hold ourselves accountable within that. And we have to learn that, like I said again, refueling ourselves, resting, and knowing and understanding how to use our energy for the right things and use our energy to fulfill what we want within this life is important. We cannot let things within this world destroy our energy, destroy what we have going on. And it's important that we understand this, because if we don't learn these things early, later on in life we'll wish that we have understood these things and use these things to our advantage to better ourselves. And it's easier said than done, but just look at yourself, look within, and understand that the world is changing constantly every single day. And if we're not adapting with these changes, and we're not switching our perspectives and knowing and understanding our mind and knowing and understanding what's going on in the world, then what are we really truly living for? Are we living to actually be better as a people, or are we just living to just live? It's upon survival within society. So today, I'll be leaving you with this scripture, and I hope that this scripture can help you in your daily personal life today. Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all who are weary and heavily burdened, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I want to thank you for watching today. Peace.